Welcome to the Logan Detective Series, where justice rides alone and every mystery runs deeper than the dust. Logan found himself in a familiar predicament, caught between a rock and a hard place, with the fierce Arizona sun glaring down on his ranch. It started innocently enough. After the skirmish in the Superstition Mountains, Logan had helped a wounded Apache warrior, who turned out to be Tall Bear, Naichi's own son. For 3 days, Tall Bear recovered in Logan's barn, his injuries slowly mending under Logan's care. On the second day, a trip to the market for supplies brought a chilling rumor to Logan's ears. Whispers flew about the Apache chief's son gone missing, and the chief himself was furiously searching, leading his warriors on a relentless hunt. A knot tightened in Logan's gut. He knew then that Tall Bear's presence in his barn was about to complicate things immensely. The fourth day dawned with an ominous quiet. Logan stepped out of his cabin to a sight that would make any frontiersman's blood run cold. His ranch was completely surrounded by over 500 Apache warriors, their faces painted for battle, their bows drawn, and their spears glinting in the morning light. At the front, atop a magnificent pinto, sat Chief Naichi, his gaze like flint. Tall Bear, despite his still healing wounds, quickly emerged from the barn, speaking rapidly in Apache to his father. Logan could only pick out a few words, but the chief's expression softened slightly as his son explained. Tall Bear pointed at Logan, then gestured to his bandaged arm, relaying how Logan had simply helped him recover after he was attacked by some unknown men. Naichi's eyes, sharp and piercing, then fixed on Logan. "I hear tell you are a detective, white man." The chief's voice boomed, cutting through the tense silence. "If you are truly so, then find the attackers who harmed my son. Find them, or else." He paused, eyes narrowing. "Then come to me in the tribe's lands. We will test your detectiveness. Fail, and there will be consequences for us all." With that chilling challenge, Naich gave a signal. The warriors, as silently as they had appeared, began to disperse, leaving Logan alone on his ranch. The weight of the chief's words heavy in the dust, the "or else" hung in the air like smoke, a silent threat. Logan knew this wasn't just about finding some outlaws. It was about proving his worth, gaining the trust of a powerful tribe, and preventing a full-scale war. His skills were about to be put to the ultimate test. The Arizona sun beat down, but Logan felt a chill. Not from the heat, but from the chief's challenge. His ranch was still, yet the echo of Naiche's words, "Find the attackers, or else," clung to the air like dust that wouldn't settle. In the barn, Tall Bear lay bandaged, a quiet reminder of what was now at stake. Tall Bear, his voice hoarse but steady, described the ambush. He'd been tracking deer near Whispering Cliffs when 3 masked men jumped him, not for his rifle, not for his horse, but for something sacred, a small obsidian idol shaped like a coyote, a gift from his father. He said they moved like shadows, too quiet for miners. Logan rode hard for the Whispering Cliffs. The wind hissed through narrow canyons like whispers of the dead. At the ambush site, he scanned the rocky ground, not miner boots, lighter tracks, riding boots, and then, tucked under a sun-baked stone, a silver button, not just any button, a coiled snake etched deep in the metal. A coiled snake. Logan remembered that mark, seen it on posters, heard it in barroom whispers. The Serpent Gang, ghost quiet raiders after tribal artifacts. Their leader, a ghost story himself. Until now. He tracked the prints to a half-buried cave, hidden behind fallen rock. Inside, it was cool, too quiet. Logan drew his Colt. Not a hideout, but a staging post. Fresh tool marks, a dropped leather pouch, identical to Tall Bear's. Then, tapping sounds from the rear. Someone was here. Through a crack, Logan spotted a wiry man under lantern light, polishing something dark. It was the idol. He wasn't masked. Logan recognized him. Whispering Jack Riley, a low-level fence. Silver snake button on his coat, clear as day.
"Logan, I didn't steal it," Riley stammered. "The boss sent me. Said it had power. Real power. Been collecting tribal pieces for months. All kinds of carved things." Logan narrowed his eyes. "Who's the boss, Riley?" Then came a sound, low and final. A footstep at the cave mouth. Riley froze mid-breath. "He's here," he whispered. From the black came a tall figure, face half hidden beneath a wide-brimmed hat. No mask, just cold, knowing eyes. In one hand, no gun, just a blacksmith's hammer, the kind that breaks more than steel. Logan didn't move. He didn't need to. The man in the shadows was Elias Strathmore, the quiet blacksmith from town, a recluse, harmless, Logan once thought. But now, the serpent himself, pulling the strings, selling tribal heirlooms to rich collectors back east. The monster was never the outlaw. It was the man shoeing their horses. Elias didn't speak, didn't blink. He charged. Not at Logan, at the idol. That hammer swung, fast, straight toward the sacred stone. Logan fired. The bullet sparked against the altar rock, just inches from Elias's grip. The hammer froze mid-air. The shot echoed, and the idol stayed untouched. Elias didn't try again. He just stared at Logan, like a man seeing a ghost. Justice wasn't loud that night. It came in a single shot. The trail back was long, but Logan didn't look back once. Beside him, Tall Bear rode tall, his wounds healed, his honor restored. When they reached the Apache camp, all fell quiet. Naiche stepped forward, eyes sharp as ever. Logan dismounted, reached into his coat, and handed him the idol. The chief took it with both hands, like a father receiving the heart of his people. "You have proven your words, detective," Naiche said low. "Our tribe will remember." In the silence, trust was finally exchanged, not in words, but in eyes. After the idol was placed in his hands, Chief Naiche stepped back and motioned for Logan to follow. They sat beneath a slanted wooden awning near the heart of the Apache camp. Between them, a shallow fire crackled, casting slow orange shadows across their weathered faces. Naiche stared into the flames for a long while before speaking. "There are others, tribes from the north, Arapaho, Crow, even Lakota. They move through Arizona now, quiet but not peaceful." Logan didn't interrupt. "They've been pushed too far," Naiche said, "driven from the north. Now they pass through our lands, stealing horses, burning our outer camps. 1 week ago, 2 of my scouts vanished at the canyon fork." Logan's jaw flexed. "You think it's them?" Naiche nodded slowly. "Or men hiding behind war paint." Logan leaned forward, elbows resting on his knees. "Tell me everything," he said. "Names, roots. Who's really behind this?" Naiche reached beside him and unwrapped a folded hide. On it, scrawled with coal and blood, was a crude map. At the center, a canyon fork. To the west, a symbol, sharp, carved like a claw, almost like a brand. "My scout Tall Bear saw this burned into the tree where his brother died," Naiche said quietly. "We thought it was a spirit sign. But now," he looked at Logan. Logan studied the claw symbol, his brow furrowed. He'd seen that mark once before, not in Apache lands, but carved into the floorboards of a burned cabin near Bisbee, the same place where his youngest brother disappeared. The fire cracked, wind stirred the dust, and somewhere in the far darkness a coyote howled.
Nietzsche whispered. That claw doesn't belong to any tribe. Logan stared at it in silence. He knew that, because that mark had haunted his past, too. As dawn crept over the red hills, Logan rode out of the Apache camp in silence. Behind him, trust had been earned, but peace was far from guaranteed. The claw mark he'd seen on that hide, it wasn't tribal, it wasn't random, it was a warning, one he'd crossed paths with before. Years ago, a symbol just like it was carved into the walls of a burned-out homestead, the same day his two younger brothers vanished without a trace. Now it had returned, not just to haunt Logan, but to threaten every soul between the Salt River and the border. Logan didn't say goodbye. He rarely did. He just rode toward the rising sun, with a rifle on his back and shadows at his heels. This ain't over, not by a long shot. If you felt the fire in this story, hit that subscribe button, friend. Logan's hunt is just beginning, and next time, the trail leads deep into outlaw country, where the claw mark was born.